Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is just default the screen back to normal. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and choose the chess pieces. The very top option is the default chess piece on the chessboard. So if you just hit the back button, it'll take you back into settings. So the next section of settings is known opponents. There's going to be a whole nother video to dive deeper into this, but essentially with known opponents, we have the update opponent rating and automatically add opponents. On the update opponent rating, essentially what that is every single time that you replay a person that you've created inside your contact list for the known opponents, you can update their rating. Also, there's an automatically add opponent, so that little slider bar on these two. So as you play a tournament and you create a user, it'll automatically add that user into your opponent list. So as you continue to play tournament after tournament after tournament, you'll continue to get a bigger and a larger list. And then if you go back and play those players again, you can update their rating the next time you sit down with them. So there's a whole nother video section that we'll dive in deeper on that, but that's just a brief overview of known opponents. The next section is backup and restore. Essentially, this is how you keep your ChessNoteR backed up. When we dive in a little deeper, there's going to be an option in here for Dropbox sync, and on the Dropbox sync, it'll allow us to push our backups up to the cloud. So in the event that something happened to our device, whatever, you can always restore from a previous backup. So it's useful to go in and do this. It's a manual process, so if you manually want an update or a backup, you'll have to run a backup. So to get started with the backup and restore, you just simply press on it and you have two options, backup and restore. So if you press the backup button, it backs up all your settings and they were successfully created, and that's essentially the backup. There's two types of restores. You can restore here in the backup and restore menu. So when you hit that backup button, it's creating an actual folder on the ChessNoteR device, which you can pull in from your USB connection. We don't touch on this too much in the menu, except just to specify that it's listed in on the ChessNoteR folder, and there's a folder in there called backup. And essentially in that backup, it's going to have your date and a zip file. And essentially that zip file is what gets restored. So at this point, because we're backed up, we'll do a quick wipe real fast, even though we don't have a whole lot of settings. So if we go to the application menu, and then if you hold down on your ChessNoteR app, you can go to App Info, and then in here you can clear data, and it'll clear the data in cache. So now if I open up ChessNoteR, it's going to show that there's no information in here. So if I go back to settings and restore, it's going to say attempting to restore from a file that is not a ChessNoteR can cause issues and cause data corruption. So you have to make sure that you are doing a restore of the right file. So go ahead and hit the OK button. And then here, you're going to close that menu. You're going to go to settings, and then you're going to show internal storage. Then you're going to go back to the menu and choose internal storage. And then here you see a ChessNoteR folder. And then in here you see a backup. And then in the backup, that's the backup that we just ran. So if I press that, it automatically drops ChessNoteR up and reboots it. And now I'm at the tournament screen. So if I hit the menu button, it's got all my settings saved. So if you need to see this video again, you can slow it down, but essentially that's how you do a backup and restore. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video and we'll start the next one.